All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, now
All
we
right,
can hear
all
you.
right. All right. I guess we'll go ahead and get started. It's about 4 o'clock.
That's
I'll
good.
go ahead and read a little disclaimer. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting is being held electronically to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public. So with that being said, Miss Kathy, if you'll go ahead and call the roll, we'll get started.
Kathy? Kathy, you're on muted too.
I am so sorry. I have lost my role. Well, just a moment. Okay. I don't know.
You want me to do it, Kathy?
Yes, if you have yours in front of you, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I am so sorry.
Okay.
You're
Travis
fine.
Hill,
Present.
Mark Tester,
Present.
Dr. Acuff,
Present.
Tracy Buckles, Aaron Jack, Mike Nidifer, Kathleen Wilson,
Present.
Emily Barton, no, you're there, Emily.
I'm here. I had to find my mic.
Melissa Shelton,
Present.
Lacey Young,
Present.
and Vicki Clark. And I'm present.
All right. All right. So I
Lisa,
guess that being said, I guess we'll accept a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion by Dr. Acuff and a second by Mr. Tester. I don't see any additions, so
Travis, I do want to make an addition.
Okay,
After old business, let's add new business.
okay,
I think we just left that off.
okay. New business. All right, so with that addition, we'll just do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the adopted agenda is adopted. All right. Number 3, approve the minutes from the May 12th, 2020 meeting. Do I have a motion to accept?
I make a motion to accept.
I'll second that.
Okay. Have a motion by Mr. Tester, second by Dr. Acuff. Any additions, deletions, changes? Okay. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? And I will abstain because I wasn't here last month, or actually in May, sorry. Okay, we'll move on to old business. And the only thing I have on our old business is COVID-19 updates. And I guess that would fall under Vicki.
Yeah, we want to just make sure that you as a committee know where we stand, how we're operating, and let us know if there's any community concerns. Right now, UT Extension has a phased reopening plan, and with the rise in new cases and the trending in Carter County right now, we've sort of gotten stuck in an alternate phase between phase 0 and phase 1. We at this point we're all working. We're working from home, but we are trying to keep the office open by having a rotation of staff. We're having one person a day in the office to be able to answer, anything that comes up. We take temperature at the door if someone comes, and we are asking everybody to wear a face mask, and of course keep social distancing. I think it's working pretty well. We've been having a lot of our people we work with drop things off on the porch or pick things up, and we've been able to work that way. So We are working. We just, like I said, are using minimal staff. So
Okay.
have y'all heard anything from the community? Is there any problems with that you know of?
I haven't heard anything.
We're just trying to make sure that we keep the staff safe and keep the working environment safe. And I think
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
working well for us at this point.
Right.
So until the numbers change, until the trend goes down, that's what we intend to maintain, the working from home and rotation of staff to have somebody available at the office.
Okay.
Anybody have anything you want to add on that? Did I cover everything? Okay, thank you.
All right. So with that being said, I guess we'll move on to new business. Vicki, what did you have in our new business?
We've had to rearrange the office a little bit just for the social distancing requirements. And of course, with the old electrical units and all that we have in the office, we need another outlet for the reception area. It shouldn't be a big deal. I'm not an electrician, but there's electricity right through the wall on the other side. So it shouldn't be hard to pull an outlet across, I wouldn't think.
Okay.
I wasn't sure how we need to go about that. Is that something we ask?
That might be something we can ask the mayor and maybe use one of our maintenance men for.
Yeah.
Yes,
What do you think about that, Dr. Acuff?
Yeah,
Ron,
I agree. I think Ron Kirby is our go-to man. He's got the most electrician experience, and the mayor has offered his services up. So I just think I
Ron
can meet
Kirby?
tonight at Building and Grounds if you want.
Okay.
we can actually just go ahead and ask Ron to do it and go ahead and get us an estimate on the cost because we know
Would
it's something they need. And Ron's actually a licensed electrician.
Right.
Okay.
Would
So-
you, Abby? That'd be great. I
Oh,
really
yeah,
don't think
thank
it's going to be a big deal.
If you just give me a call tomorrow and we can set up a time to where he can meet you over there.
Okay.
That way you can tell him where you need it and what you need done.
Okay. We sure can. That'd be great. Thank you.
Thanks, Abby.
That's perfect. The only other thing I had on my list, Emily, you had had an experience with the windows leaking, the gutters needed to be cleaned out or something.
Yes, and Abby, thank you for getting on that on Monday for us. We the couple of guys came over, they took a look. What was happening is with that major rainstorm we had Monday morning, rain's coming in the upstairs bathroom window, it sits in the track, and then it starts coming through the window down the wall and into the floor. The guys looked at it and they said, pretty sure just a good gutter clean out should eliminate that issue.
So did they get that taken care of, or do we need to see if we can get the trustees to do that?
I had not heard back on whether how the work was going to get taken care of, just that would probably be the solution.
Okay.
Okay, when I talk to Ron tomorrow, I'll mention that to him and see what he thinks we should do, and I'll get back in touch with you regarding whether our guys can do it or if we have to get somebody to come in. So I'll put that on my list as well, Vicki and
Thank you.
Emily.
Kathy, was there anything else with the phone? Did it need to be moved or anything?
It also needs to be moved, yes. We need an outlet. We need a phone connection on the other wall. So we'll need to look at that. There's also water coming in the not the maintenance room, but where we have our copiers and water, or copiers and the risograph. There's water on the ceiling and it's coming down the wall in the bathroom, just off of
It's probably the same problem as the bathroom, right? Pretty much right up above it.
Is it above the other bathroom? It probably is.
I think it probably is the same gutter problem. Tracy, I see you've joined us. Thank you.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Tracy.
Thank you. You're look like you're in the car and going about your business.
I am. I'm stopped at the moment for the meeting, but
Okay. Thank you for joining us.
no problem.
I didn't have anything else on my list. of course, we're having to do all of our programming and everything. We're being creative. Everything's changing as we all know. So I think when we start sharing what we're doing in our programs, you'll see. But we've all stayed real busy trying to just adjust and make it work for the situation we have.
Vicki, this probably should have been brought up in old business, but I remember reading in the minutes about the glass panes are ready to be put in.
You know, I have talked to Mr. Higgins. Oh, but it's been 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and he said he still wanted to do it. I think it's probably in my ball, and the ball's probably in my court. I think I need to call him and just set up a time again.
Okay.
We do have class, so I will do that.
Okay, thank you. All right, if we don't have anything else in new business, I guess we'll move on to agriculture program updates.
I hope you can still hear me with my mask on. If I weren't in the hospital, I'd take it off. Ag has been super busy. Fun fact, I fielded 429 calls from March to June. We have an increase in people growing their own gardens. A lot of questions about homesteading. A lot of people wanting to start processing their own livestock. It's a fun educational conversation when someone calls you and they're not real sure about processing a chicken, but we go through that process over the phone and they now decided they'll just buy it from the grocery store. I'm just saying that those calls are coming in and pretty prevalent. We have a lot of things going on. Programs are trying to be moved to online. I think ag is having a really tough time with that because we have a split in our producer realm. I probably have 50% that are very comfortable with using technology, and I probably have 50% that they won't touch it, even though they are very capable of doing it. So that's an interesting fact. But to go on to our updates on kind of what I've been doing from home, besides a lot of phone calls, we've done 15 pesticide certifications and points credits. I'm doing those by appointments. I try to do them on the porch. I'm trying not to introduce a whole lot to our office just because. I live with some high-risk people at the current moment, and I'm trying to do due diligence to them and make sure that I'm keeping everybody safe. I've done 25 BQAs. I created a Google Classroom for farmers. I can tell you that has had mixed reviews and hasn't went near as well as I thought it might. But I have done 25 of those. Most of those have been in person. On the tailgate, we sat opposite one another, tailgates, and Lysol disinfectant wipes for the laptop. And they got to keep the pen that they used. So that's kind of what we're doing on that front. I've done 12 farm visits. I visited with several producers, checking on their garden vegetables because we have a lot of people growing stuff now. I had a lady ask me when she knew her tomatoes were ripe. So at that point, I knew I needed to do a home visit to make sure. So I've been doing some farm visits, had about 12 of those at this point. We are working in conjunction with the FSA office. They are having a USDA program, which is the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program, which they're calling CFAP, like agriculture needed another acronym, but we got it now. So we are helping producers fill those out. All I can really do is show them the spreadsheet about what money they will get assistance for because of losses during coronavirus. They have to do all those applications through Robert Earhart's office, the FSA office over in Bluntville. And they have to call and make an appointment to make that happen. We're still helping a lot with TAP. So that's something new that has happened. Well, I shouldn't say new. TAP's old news, but their regulations are starting to change because I'd say coronavirus has eaten into some of our budget that I think all of us are pretty aware of budgets being now changed a little and rearranged. So because of that, they're going to change some of their criteria. They're going to make the application period a week long, which will affect my producers. They are very hooked on the fact that it's 2-week period, so I'm going to have to do double time to get them all in on time. But I'm doing a lot of those. We're still reimbursement packets are coming out. I think they're due 1st of September. is when those are due again. So I'm having a lot of calls for help on those. Again, just doing those on the tailgate, outside on the porch. I've had very few in the office. I try not to bring them into the office. We are working a lot with businesses. So a lot of these people are bringing in students that now would have been technically in school. Now they're deciding to homeschool, whatever. They want them to help harvest things out their farm. So we've been talking about worker protection standards and how to keep them safe and how that works. So I've been doing a lot of training on that front, figuring out how we're going to do programs in person, because like I said, there's a lot that won't do the online. So we're trying, a couple of the ag agents and I that partner together have been working on that a little bit. We're just learning our new norm. And then as if we did not have enough with the killer bees, we now have China seeds. So I've been fielding calls on those. The Tennessee Department of Agriculture wants you to submit that online. And my gracious admin has saved me a whole lot of time. And she fills out the form for them when they call, because I haven't been quick enough getting back with them because of personal issues here at the hospital. But we're fielding those calls. And I apologize to Mark and Dr. Acuff. I have been waiting on Wendy to get back with me to talk about processing, and for some reason, I don't know why she's never gotten back with me on that, why we haven't had a meeting, but I did send her another email.
Kathleen,
Yes.
from my understanding, someone is renting or buying or something Potter Meats.
Okay.
It's says Bryant Meats coming soon. So
Okay.
I didn't know if anybody knew anything about that. That was kind of news to me. And I talked to a meat processing plant and another gentleman that had been heavily involved in meat processing plant. And the issues that they were really having problems with was the labor, getting people to work in that environment and be, every day. And the labor was the real issue that they were, having. I'm sure it's the same way in a lot of farm work, but the labor was the challenge from what I understood from talking to these people about the meat processing and stuff.
Yeah, labor has been an issue. I know that they put out CDC guidelines for those people as well. I think they've done a really good job separating the industries out because, our office, even though I'm ag, I'm a little different than somebody who's in a meat processing facility, where it's kind of a assembly line of production where you have to stay 6 feet apart. And that those hanging racks are not necessarily conducive to that on a regular basis, but they've done a real good job putting CDC guidelines out. I'm going to do my best to get in touch with Wendy again. I sent her an email here recently. I'm not sure why she hasn't responded. I know she was covered up with people having an influx interest in now being a meat processor. So that might be some of it, and I might have just got shuffled to the bottom of the pile. It happens. But I'll call her and get back with her on all of that. And she should know who's opening it up because she does a lot of the small business development.
Thank you, Kathleen. The main thing is you take care of your family and watch out after your mother. That's the main thing.
No, I appreciate that. I'm very blessed in the fact that I have been able to juggle all three, my job, my mom, and of course my dad too. And farming gets slid in there occasionally, but we're trying to make it all happen. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, so with that, we'll move on to 4-H program updates.
All right, guys, give me just a second. I'm going to speak kind of from my notes today. I am in my car, so it's a little harder to get to everything. So just kind of looking at from our last meeting till now, we have been able to, as everybody's kind of said, we have worked on being able to rethink how we've done things traditionally. You guys know that we rely heavily on in-person, and that's just not been an option. So by kind of going through the numbers of what we've been able to do this summer, we paired up with meal distribution with Carter County Schools, and between the meal distribution sites and then as well as just local businesses, any business that would allow me to put in some activity newsletters, we've distributed 2,400 activity newsletters this summer for youth in Carter County. That was a partnership with the entire office. Everybody gave different details, different activities that we could do. Those topics were cooking skills and nutrition from Lacey. We did gardening and some craft items and recipes from Kathleen and Vicki, and then Melissa and I took on some of the other sections with engineering process and some different STEM activities and crafts. And so 2,400 of those newsletters went out across the county to give kids something to do that was free or cheap with basic materials at home. In July, Vicki had the grand idea that we needed to do something with sewing, and that is not my world, but it is definitely hers. And we were able to give out 155 4-H service project kits. Almost all of the projects were sewing based. One was more of a braiding dog toy, pet toy project, but we were able to give out 155 kits to that many students for free for them to make a service project. And they were tasked with the goal of either give it to someone that you know needs it. So if they made a face mask, they could use it in their family, or they could bring them back to our office, drop them off on the porch, and we would get them to someone who needed it. So we made homeless kits with like soaps and things in it. We made pet toys and cat hammocks for the animal shelter. I have a pretty extensive list of where things went if you guys would like to see that. We have still had students competing all summer, even though it's been virtual. We had 7 4-H portfolios turned in, and we are patiently waiting to see which ones are going to be competing for scholarships at the state level. We found out yesterday that 2 of our photos are state 4-H winners, and so they will be displayed in Nashville. We had 12 students attend virtual 4-H conferences over the summer. Several of those, well, all of those were hosted by University of Tennessee professionals and had a lot of career and college readiness components in those. We are in process of planning a absolutely virtual, contactless Upper 8 4-H fair, which will have traditional fair entries for students, and we are working on getting that ready to release in August for September entries and fair categories there. I have lost my notes. There we go. Melissa is working hard. The one in-person activity that we are going to attempt with COVID guidelines, and we're watching that very closely, is our Chick Chain Show and Sale. We are planning to host that in September. And again, it is kind of in its preliminary planning phases, with trying our best to make sure we meet what we can, but have something very small and quick to get those birds sold and finish that project out this year. Our wildlife judging students competed virtually in June. They placed 2nd overall in the region, and everybody was a top 10 finisher in that contest. And then looking to the fall, we start our fall judging teams practicing next week. We start on Monday with those. We'll have a forestry group, consumer decision making and life skills, which is our business skills teams, and then a dairy group as well. We are looking at the possibility of an outdoor meat cookery food science group as well. We just don't have quite ready for how that would work just yet, so that's still in the brainstorming phase. We were able to give extension resource packets with the Back to School Bash with Harmony Church. We gave out 1,200 of those. Our seniors this year brought in approximately $10,000 in scholarships. So we were very proud of that. We received the White Reinhardt Grant for agriculture literacy programs. We've applied for the Healthy Habits Grant for nutrition and health programs. We are working on writing some personal finance curriculum for 4th through 12th grade, as well as working on some state teams for the On My Own simulation. A couple of years ago, Kathleen and I started a judging team curriculum just for Carter County, and it went region-wide, and we found out last week that it's going to be going statewide, fully funded, so we're working on that as well. And then we're really working on what is in-school clubs going to look like this year. We have been in communication with central office to decide what is that going to look like. And with Lacey and Melissa and myself, we are working to create a virtual platform through Canvas or through Google Classroom to house 8 different sections of 4-H curriculum for our teachers to be able to grab and go. So if they have 30-minute lunch and they want to put that up during that 30 minutes, they have access to it and can do those life skill lessons with their students. We will also be available for live programming as well. Just at the current time, with our schools working through all of the needs with COVID-19, it is looking like virtual is going to be the way we go instead of in person, although we are open to that if that's what they want. And we are working on building a Carter County specific 4-H website to not only house that curriculum and those lessons that we're going to be using in the schools, but also all of our other project work that students can do from home. So we're really trying to push out our virtual platform, and then in the same breath, making sure that we're finding ways to reach those students who don't have access. And I think my last point, I will brag on Kathleen and Melissa, and I guess I can include myself in that too, but our professional organizations met over the summer, and we all received some types of recognition for leadership and curriculum development. So we were quite excited to hear that as well. And that is all I have, and I'll have to figure out how to turn my mic off.
Thank you, Emily. Right. Okay, let's move on to FCS program updates.
Okay, thank you. Like Emily was saying and Kathleen was saying, we're trying to learn new ways to do our programming. I'm working with a group of agents and specialists right now developing an online finance and budgeting class. I'm going to start it next week, so it's kind of in a crunch mode right now. And I'm doing some job readiness training for part of our Skills Up program. I've been working on the board for the community kitchen program that's going to be at Rivers Way. This is kind of taking the place of the One World Cafe program that was proposed earlier on. I think they're kind of going in the other direction now, and have been working with the Carter County Drug Prevention Program, combining our resources and in the programming for youth through the drug prevention, because of course it also involves parents and family cooperation. And I think you mentioned this last time, Mark, but you were absolutely right. There has been a huge increase in canning interest. And Kathleen, my funny story kind of goes with yours. I had a lady call. She wanted to know how to can duck. I didn't have an immediate answer. I had to look that one up. We've had a lot of people trying to start canning who've never canned anything before, and they're finding a lot of really scary, unsafe information on the internet. So I'm having to do a lot of damage control there and trying to encourage them to use the tested recommendations. A lot of, I guess you call them homesteaders, Kathleen, the people that are into the preppers and the survivalists. We're getting a lot of those wanting to do really strange things, or wanting to can butter, and just, dry canning, which is not approved either, and just coming up with a whole lot of unusual questions I've never had before. So that's been an interesting job learning experience for me too. We're also doing a lot of interviews and search right now for some positions on the state and the Eastern region level. And I've been participating in the interviews for our FCS assistant dean position. There's 4 interviewing. We've had 3 going through. We've got 1 more tomorrow. And I'm on the search committee for our Eastern region FCS program leader. So I've been spending some time working on that on the regional level. So I think that pretty much covers what I've wanted to go over. So, thank you. Any questions?
Everything sounds good, Vicki.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to TN-CEP program updates.
All right, sounds good. So as Emily mentioned, I worked with them on the newsletters that were distributed at meal sites. So a little more specifically, we looked at the 5 food groups: kitchen skills, cooking with heat, food safety, knife skills, healthy recipes, and then those were distributed at all the meal sites in June. I've been able to move 3 of my in-person classes to an online platform during this time that we've been at home. So I've been able to do Eating Smart, Moving More, My Plate for My Family, and Eating Smart Throughout the Life Cycle, which is a series for pregnant moms and new parents. So we've been able to graduate 12 adults throughout those 3 online series. I partnered with Carter County Drug Prevention for a homeschool expo sugars demonstration that was online. Social media outreach is continuing, something that we're keeping up with. We've done My Plate Challenge Week, recipes, food budgeting, and COVID tips, especially with budgeting and during these times, trying to still encourage shopping healthy, but within a budget, of course. Pandemic EBT cards and applications for that. And then some more demos on there, of course, sugar, calcium ones, and then a 10-step recipe book that is being created. The Shop Smart Tennessee Poet Pilot, I think we mentioned this in the past as something that we were involved with, Vicki and I. It has had to be altered quite a bit with regards to everything going on. So originally this was supposed to be a program where we partnered with a local grocery store and we did in-person recipe demos, and they were going to receive a kitchen tool that went along with it. And then we were going to have postings around the grocery store with easy shopping to get the recipes for that specific recipe. And that has had to be changed, of course. So with that being said, we have gone to an online platform. We're not currently working with a specific store, but I did create 8 recipe demos with nutritional information, and those are currently in production. So what we're going to be doing with those is releasing them on social media over the next 2 months, and we will be doing challenges with these. So we have 5 $10 gift cards that we're going to be giving away to people who participate. And then we have 5 kitchen tool bags that'll be full of different tools that we'll give away as well. I've been working on releasing a monthly newsletter, and this started last month just to keep in touch with the community. It's gone out to partners, but it's free and it's open to anyone in the community. It was posted online as well on our social media. The focuses on it are 10-step updates, a recipe of the month, food safety, specifically that's relevant to current events. So, summer food safety, food being out in hot weather, how long it can be out safely before it's unsafe to eat, physical activity information and challenges, and then upcoming offerings of classes, especially because we're online right now. The farmers market fresh is something that we have done in Elizabethton in the past. However, we don't have the farmers market currently. But there have been recipe demos that have been created. And so they're a resource that is available for us to use with the possibility of linking to either a farmer who has a home market if they're within the appropriate location, or just using it as a resource that can be posted on our social media. So that's something I'm talking about right now with the creator, the Farmers Market Fresh. And then looking into the future, I've been invited to be part of the Maternal Health Forum again. So this was something that we had done in the past. We did it in person. We were able to do a yogurt bar that we supplied, and then we were able to meet with professionals in the community as well as moms and new parents. This has been moved to an online format as well. So I've been in the process of creating some videos for that. We're going to be able to have a UT Extension TINSET page that goes along with this whole online platform that will be able to deliver partnership information as well as some valuable information for moms that visit the site as well. As Emily already mentioned, we are looking towards the future with virtual school. And so that's starting to take up quite a bit of focus in just how we're going to get this out to the kiddos and do it efficiently for the teachers as well, so we don't overwhelm them. Core topics are going to include physical activity, sugar, fruits and vegetables, and food safety. So we're really trying to kind of hone in on the main things that seem to be affecting kids right now, especially with so much screen time. You know, are they getting physical activity if they're, you know, spending so much time doing online virtual school, eating healthy while at home? So all of those focuses, and again, that'll either be through Google Classroom or Canvas. I'm looking right now at turning my senior program into an online platform as well, so that we can reach isolated seniors and kind of have a community and deliver that program as well online. So I'm currently developing that. And then I am partnering with 2 other counties to develop a smart shopping lesson for Vicky's financial online class that she's doing as well. So that's where we're at.
All right, sounds like y'all been busy. All right, have we missed anybody? Melissa, do you have anything?
I think I'm good. I think Emily covered everything as far as 4-H updates. Thank you.
Okay. Any commissioners or Tracy, anybody want to say anything? I know Dr. Acuff's got to jump off here.
Yeah,
I'll
sounds
just
like
say that they're all doing a great job. I mean, we're all trying to transition and figure all this out. I work a lot with Vicky on programs, and we're trying to do a lot of virtual type workshops and stuff. So we're all just digging our heels in and figuring out how to do all this. So great job, guys. Keep it up.
Thank you.
amen.
Question that I have for you guys, is there anything that we as a group should be doing to keep the county commissioners aware of our program? Do we need to try to plan some sort of a handout or a newsletter or an update? Or do you
I think y'all do some kind of newsletter. You know, we could put it in a packet each month or whenever, you know,
Okay.
whenever y'all get something.
We have done that before, a county update, and I thought that particularly now it might be an appropriate time to do that again.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If you can get it to me the Tuesday before the commission meeting, that'll give me time to get copies made and get it in everybody's packets.
Okay, Tuesday before commissioner meeting.
Right. And Vicki, the other thing that I would suggest that goes in that is the accomplishments in agribusiness. I don't think folks in Carter County recognize what a significant portion comes through our county and is produced in this county. So if they could get some idea of how important ag is to Carter County, I think they could grasp it a little bit better.
I think that's a good idea. Thank you. Okay, we'll work on putting that together then. Thank you. We appreciate your support. Thank you for everything you do for us.
You're welcome.
Anybody else got anything they want to add today? All right. I just want to thank you, each of you ladies, for all that you do for us. We're very proud of you all. Very lucky to have each one of you. Thanks for everybody who could make the meeting today. And if nothing else, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second, anybody?
I'll second.
All right. We'll see y'all in November, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Everybody have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.